Today I'll be building this nativity house. I'll start off with the base using this sheet of Baltic birch that I have laying around, and I'll just go ahead and cut it to size. I'll keep it very simple. This is for my mom. She's always used like a little piece of table and turned it upside down and just turned that into a little nativity place. But this time I decided to make her one. I'll miter these corners and pretty much make a square like that. I'll glue it together and use brad nails on the corners to keep it in place while the glue dries. And then I'll continue to build the roof off of it. Now guys, one thing to keep in mind when you're putting brad nails like this, if you see my fingers, be careful. And I thought about it now that I'm watching the video. Sometimes the nails will come up on the side. So if you have your fingers too close, it could get your finger. It hasn't happened to me, but I thought of it because I've seen it happen. So right here at the middle, I'll make a little support. It also serves as a decoration, but on actual homes, this serves as a support for the roof, like the center beam. These pieces of wood that I'm using right here, they're actually cut-offs from cutting the square that I made. So I'll just turn them upside down and then cut the angle of the roof pitch. And I know this is not making furniture, but it actually took me maybe like 3 hours to finish this whole thing up. And it's kind of like making toys because you're working with very little pieces and figuring out how to attach them together, how to make small cuts, and it's kind of like making toys. After putting this center support, I went ahead and started cutting the pieces for the roof. But once I laid them on the support itself, they're actually a little bit elevated. So I'm gonna add these little pieces for a little more support. That way it's not gonna move from side to side once I assemble the whole roof itself. And as I went, I just kept improvising. Like here, I wanted to cut the side pieces with a little bit of angles so that it's not just a square. Then I went ahead and glued them, tacked them together, and put them on the roof so that I could figure out what the next step was. Once I assembled the front and back piece, I went ahead and glued them and tacked them together so that they would stay put, so that I could continue with the center support and side supports. And that's where I'm gonna lay the pieces that are gonna make the roof itself. And it's looking pretty good if I say so myself. Again, these little pieces on the sides are gonna serve as supports for the boards that are gonna make the roof itself. A little bit of glue and brad nails will hold it together. Some time ago, I found what's gonna make the roof, and they're just old fence boards that looked like they had never been used because they still had the price tag at the bottom. I don't even remember where I found them. I just know they're really dirty and they were outside. I probably found them dumpster diving somewhere. But it actually gives it a natural weathered look, which is what I'm going for, because that's what I imagine the place looked like where Jesus was born. Oh, and my security guard, Bruno, he's making sure everything's fine around here. No fishy stuff, no shenanigans going around. Good job, Bruno. For the roof, I only make sure that I had enough wood and then started tacking it together with brad nails. I didn't use glue at this point. I don't feel there's a need for it. Like I said, there's not gonna be any weight on it, so I think it's gonna be good enough just with brad nails. And just like that, once I started tucking together one side, I did the same thing to the other side, and in no time, it was all ready. Don't believe me? As soon as I start checking this, look, and it's all done. And it's looking pretty good, if I say so myself. With the small hand plane, I just removed the sharp edge from this little piece at the top before moving on to the actual structure that is gonna hold up the roof. Now the way I'm gonna do the structure is pretty much the same as you would a normal house or shed or dog house or whatever. I'm gonna create 3 walls. There's no wall at the front, but pretty much just using pocket holes and glue, I'm gonna create the side wall, the rear wall, and the other side wall. And then I'm gonna screw them together to create the 4 walls. The reason I'm doing this is because I want all of this to be able to be taken apart. Once I'm done with the 4 walls, I'm gonna screw them together from side to side, just like I said, like you would a normal house, as you see here, so that when the Christmas time is over, you will be able to remove these screws and take it all apart. And if I haven't lost you so far, this roof, I'm just gonna lean it on top of this structure, and then I'm gonna drive 4 screws up on this area so that it holds the roof, and you're gonna end up with a complete structure. After I'm done with that, I'm gonna put a little bit of a railing on each side, more for decoration. I mean, also so that baby Jesus doesn't fall out and the animals don't run away. But yeah, all of this I'm just gonna be putting it together with glue, and then I'm gonna set up some clamps. I didn't really measure or anything. It was more what looks good, and this looks good to me. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna screw the bottom piece to the structure itself, securing it even more and making it one whole structure. And here is the finished product. It's looking pretty good, don't it? Well, I shouldn't say the finished product. I'm still gonna be staining all of this with a darker walnut wipe on poly. I want it to look old and aged, and I think this achieves it. If you see here, it looks, to me anyway, it looks better than just brand new wood. And just like that, we're finished with this project, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. I hope you had fun. I hope it was a little bit of entertainment, if not educational. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.